and you say that you started your landscaping business at 13, and now it's kind of, well, it's gone through different changes. You started with, mowing and lawn care and a lot of different types of lawn care, but you've kind of specialized down into project-based work is kind of what you've said you called it, like work that isn't just consecutive. It's like, okay, one big project and we're going to get it done. And I just wanted to maybe ask, like, have you seen lots of success in switching, and like, would you recommend other landscape and lawn care businesses and businesses in general to specialize?
I do. So I started when I was 13, like you just mentioned. I started with my dad's tractor. The only thing I knew how to do was like household chores, and which included lawn mowing. And so that's what I started to do. I basically, ran out of my parents' money, so to speak, by doing chores. I was doing all sorts of chores for them, by like literally cooking dinner every night, to mowing the lawn, to cleaning bathrooms, putting out the garbage, like you name it, I would do it all. And basically I was becoming 13, and they were like, dude, like, we're going to cut this off soon. And I was like, all right, I got to go, make money and bring it in from other households and resources. So I found this guy, Geek to Freak, on YouTube. I was studying his YouTube channel. I would watch it every single day for hours on end. Got his little one-page flyer, put my own stuff on it, and then I passed out thousands of flyers, and that's how I got my first initial, 15 lawn mowing clients. From there, I scaled that business, lots of ups and downs, lots of headaches, all sorts of stuff. From 13 to 18, I want to say I ended up with, let's say, 45 lawn mowing clients, all ranging from like $250 a mow to like $45 a mow. Sold that side of the business and got into the project-based landscaping.
Sure. And when you're selling a list like that, do you just kind of, I don't even know how that works. Would you charge per customer, or like, I guess some customers might have a higher value than others. Like, was it kind of like an average per customer? I'm just a curious question.
Yeah, I think we just like negotiated on a price, honestly. Traditionally, you do 3 times per mow, and that's if you, I think, and it all depends on your negotiation and your situation, but traditionally that's if you have contracts. So I never had contracts. What I established in my business when I got to like 16-ish was credit card processing. So when I was 16, I said, there's no more me running around picking up your $120 check. If you're going to be a client, you're going to put a credit card on file, and I'm going to charge it at the end of each month automatically. And so
nice.
I never had contracts. I would just charge the card at the end of each service. And so basically how I sold the lawn list, the guy, not the guy, a buddy of mine that owned a local landscaping business. I think we just became like, I think he bought a trailer from me or something. I think what was going on is he bought my grass mowing trailer, and he was like, well, why are you selling this? And I was like, oh, I'm selling my lawn list. And he was like, oh, I want to buy that too. So basically he just gave me 5 G's cash, and he, and we went through the list and blah, 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 blah. And I guess he signed a non-disclosure or something. I ran through all the properties for him. And let's say he gave me $5,000 at the beginning of March. Second week of March, I sent out an email blast CCing him and all my clients on it, saying, hey, here's your new lawnmower, provider. Same price. He knows the in and outs of your property. I trained him on it, and we will be still taking care of all your project-based work, anything from spring cleanups, trimming, pruning, to fall cleanups, to hardscaping, drainage, you name it.
Sure. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's cool to see that the guy was interested, and that transaction worked out well, and the customers were still satisfied, and you were satisfied, and yeah.
He's still satisfied, and we still do business to this day. Literally, I posted a story about me talking about commercial snow accounts. My buddy Tony swiped up, hey man, I got this and this available. If you need it for snow, let me know. It's like, boom, I'll take it,
Boom. That's great. That's awesome. And yeah, because coming from my experience, my mom started a cleaning business when she was in college, and it's kind of grown to bigger size. About 4 years ago, it was maybe 300K mark, but over the past 4 years, my mom and I'm like second in charge. We've kind of grown it to about $1 million a year. And so but like we have three different aspects of the company where it's like commercial cleaning, like buildings and offices. Secondly is residential cleaning, and thirdly is like car cleaning. And I see kind of the beauty of what you're saying, where it's like get rid of the two things that aren't bringing you as much revenue and focus heavily on the percentage of the customers that bring in the most amount of revenue or profit. But it's just so hard for me to always know, like, where do you string the balance between, like, what's the right word here, diversification and having like a list of many services to do, and when do you, like, I'm doing this one thing and I'm going to do it the best? And like, I'm just curious, like, how diversified do you want to be? Do you want to just keep sticking with project? I'm sure there's a ton of diversity within just project, but yeah.
So Harley, one thing I just want to make clear is that I'm not about the revenue. I'm all about the profit. So what's going to give me the most profit margin per job, per service is what I'm sticking to. So lawn mowing, whether you think it or not, is the least profit margin service in our business. If you go from lawn mowing all the way to hardscaping and snow removal, all of it. So I got rid of the least profit margin stuff and focused on the high profit margin stuff.
Sure. And maybe like time is factored into that too. Like maybe the mowing, it takes a lot of time, or I'm not, you're mainly focusing on money when it comes to mowing just because of the cost. They're not paying you that much in money, but there might also be another side of it where it's like, how much headache and time is this customer taking up when in reality they're not bringing in as much profit? Those are the kind of two metrics I'm using trying to analyze my mom's company, but I'm seeing you as an example, and I showed her your profile and I was like, look what happens when you specialize, Mom. Look at him. He's 22, he's my age, and he's exploding. And so like, I appreciate you going down that route and kind of inspiring me. But yeah.
Yeah, and so at the simplest level, it's the profit margin. What's giving me the most money in my pocket at the end of the day? And I realized that I can mow lawns for 12 hours a day with a helper and make 800, $1,000 profit, maybe. Most days it was probably 650, 750-ish, something like that. It was so many years ago, I don't remember the exact numbers. But to this day, like any day landscaping, you can easily walk home with $1,000 cash or more, especially if you have multiple crews. If you're charging right, you make a percentage off the materials, things like that. And
for sure.
And to go back to your point, Harley, yes, like so step one is the profit, and then like you just mentioned, it's very smart. I don't want to go and waste my resources, your time as a business owner, going to someone's house, going to someone's business, trying to sell myself on a $45 product. I want to sell myself, or I want to sell that client on a $4,500, a 5G, a 10G, $45,000 product.
For sure, man. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I like that. I would say, yeah, it's like, I heard a phrase from some guy named Tim Ferriss. I'm not sure if you know him. He wrote this book called The 4-Hour Workweek. And he said, like, customer service isn't bending to every will of the customer. Oh, I want this done, and this done. Oh, sure. I'll do that. And like, nope, I do a specific thing and I'm going to do it great. And so, yeah, I'm just hammering down the point of like, once you figure out what's the most profitable for your time and money, hammer and say no to pretty much everything but that. So I love that idea. And I was also going to say, what do you think is the most rewarding part of having a landscape business?
I mean, there's many aspects to it. You could look at if you're, want to just go not basic, but what I find, what I get happiness from is the before and after, right? We're taking someone's crappy front yard or backyard, or they're getting water in their basement, and we're creating a solution. We're selling them on ourselves, and then we're installing and building that on their property. And I love to see the before and afters. That's one aspect. Obviously, client satisfaction. Once you've been in the business so much, you get addicted to, seeing your clients happy and they want to leave a review. And then on top of that, you just over the years, you see like what you've built, and the miniature success, and it's kind of cool to just see the growth, and then basically beyond that, it just becomes a game. How can I continue to level up?
For sure. Yeah, that's well said. And like in the like a pie chart of the business responsibilities, what specific responsibilities are you still in charge of and what have you delegated?
So what I've delegated is all the manual labor. I've delegated the project management, or at least 90% of it. The office admin, I've delegated. What I handle is 85, 75% of the sales. That's my next position to delegate. I handle obviously all money movement. So that's paying credit cards, paying payroll, paying bills, paying myself, like all of the money, anything to do with business accounts. Obviously, I handle the bookkeeping, I've delegated. Maintenance of the equipment, I've delegated. SEO, website stuff, I've delegated. I handle all my own social media, so that's quite a bit of work.
Sure.
So eventually I want to get someone for that as well.
Nice. And like what kind of sales are you talking about? Are you talking on the phone sales, in-person sales, or like email sales or
In-person consultations.
okay. So like you'll go to their house, kind of like walk around, snap some pics and start like selling them on what you feel would be the best, solution to their yard or
Yeah. I mean, we do take like videos of just what the estimate includes. That way, the whole team knows. Like, for instance, when I'm out of town, my project manager is trained to do sales appointments. So
nice.
on top of that, my assistant books our schedule. So like, she'll field all the calls that come in. She knows I do estimates Tuesdays and Thursdays. In the busy time, she'll route them so I'm not driving back and forth across town.
Great.
Things like that, Harley. So what I was getting back to is my project manager will go do those estimates when I'm out of town, and so he's trained to put in how much time. He's trained to put in the materials. She'll type everything up. So she'll take his private notes, type it up into a nice like proposal, like a salesy, nicely written proposal.
Sure.
Put all the info I need at the bottom. I put our price on it, and I send it out. And so like that's something we've been doing more and more of, and I'm trying to do more of that.
Sure. That's great. Yeah. And when your assistant who answers the phone is answering the phone, what system do you guys use? I know you use Jobber. Is that the only software you use? Or do you use other softwares for payroll or for accounting?
Yes, yeah. So like QuickBooks, my accountant
Yep.
used for bookkeeping. ADP is like a business. We use
Sure.
them for payroll. Jobber, we use them to run our day-to-day, business. All our clients are in there. The job sites are in there. I mean, you name it, dude. Billing, like we get paid through Jobber on certain jobs, all that kind of
Got it.
stuff. So the calls come into a call center, and they're trained on what I want them to say. They collect certain data. It comes into our email. When my assistant's available that day, we do same day response. She'll call everyone up, screen the people, make sure they're serious, and then book them.
Oh, that's so smart. So you have a call center that takes care, harvests their data in some sense, gives it to you, and you have your assistant go out and call them up within 24 hours, hopefully. That's
Yes,
really smart.
within 24 hours.
Like, I'm not trying to let's see here. I'm trying to show my mom the beauty of these, delegate, automate, and eliminate tasks that you have to do. Like, I'm a huge fan of free up your time so that you can spend your time on the even more valuable things or the next project or the next business. And you're just a prime example of doing it. What I've done for my business is the tasks that I've learned, I've hired systems I've built systems. I've hired people to automate. Now I have time in my life again. I'm trying to assist my mom. Right now she still answers the phone. And I'm like, that's just a huge bottleneck. I'm not talking down on her. She loves to talk to people, and she just, this business is kind of her life. She loves it. But just the beauty of trusting someone else, even though the call center people might not be as totally amazing and as enthusiastic as Chase would be on the phone, they're doing it 85% as good, and you're still bringing in the customer, and your time is now saved. And so I love this kind of argument.
Yeah, 100%. If your mom's $1 million company, and everyone's different, but if she wants to continue to scale, she's gonna have to like delegate stuff. So I would hire an office person, even if it's a stay-at-home person. You can still train that person to use a business phone, to use the CRM, call these people. Like it's very simple to do this. You just have to want to, and then obviously the back end of it is it costs money. And everyone's like, in the short term, everyone's like, well, damn, it's gonna cost me whatever, 2, 5, 10, 20 G's, whatever, like in the next 90 days. But it'll make up for itself. Give it 90 days and see what happens.
For sure. And that's what I've been doing. I've hired 2 assistants, one for me, one for my mom, and it's working great. And so I love it. And I just wanted to get your opinions on some of this. And yeah, like, and you say you might have said it, but what are your next areas that you want to delegate? You say
sales position. So I have the infield team. I have access to labor. Obviously, anyone could go buy trucks and equipment. I have the project manager now. I'm just looking to get a killer salesperson in my business.
Nice. They would go around and do the estimates for you?
100%.